We'll also go over the 5 things you need to know if you're applying for a mortgage. Of course, Bank of Little Rock Mortgage joins us every so often to talk about home buying, and Alan is here with us this morning. We have to talk to him here in just a few minutes.
Well, coming up, we'll go over the 5 things you need to know before applying for a mortgage. Stay with us.
From the station that's on your side, this is Channel 7 News Good Morning Arkansas.
Welcome back to Good Morning Arkansas. Are you thinking about buying a home? Well, you'll most likely need a mortgage. In addition to your legal name, social security number, and other standard information, there's unexpected information that you should be prepared to share with your mortgage lender because it could affect your loan. Of course, Alan Huddleston, loan officer at the Bank of Little Rock Mortgage, joins us to go over some information that you may not have thought of, and that's really what we're talking about.
That's
Stuff
right.
that people don't think of that you guys may need to know.
Absolutely. So with the initial application, we get a lot of good information from that, but it just doesn't go into the level of detail that we really need.
Yeah.
For instance, recent job changes.
Yeah, so if you're employed somewhere and you change real quick before you apply for a mortgage, does that actually matter?
It can. So it's not necessarily going to cause a major problem, but it really just depends. The things we want to watch out for there are job gaps. Were there any long gaps between the 2 jobs? That can sometimes cause a problem.
So, like, if you had an 8-month period of unemployment, that would be something that's important.
That's something we
not just like a 2-week gap where you're going from one to the next.
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
An 8-month, anything longer than a month, really, we just need to look at. And it's not necessarily going to cause a major problem, but we do need to address it. We need an explanation for it. And the other big one on job changes is your type of pay changing? Are you going from
a big change?
Yes, like if you're going from salary, kind of consistent income, to maybe commission income. Obviously something along those lines. We need to know that for sure because that can cause a little hiccup sometimes.
Okay, so those are some very important tips on changing a job. Well, what about marital status? Getting some questions on that. That can be a big deal as well.
It is, yes. So if you have had a recent divorce or maybe there's a pending divorce, we absolutely need to know that. There are financial obligations that come with a divorce, child support, alimony, things of that nature that we've got to account for. And we don't necessarily see that on a credit report. So if you don't tell us about it, we might not know about it.
Marital status is something that you just think that you guys would find that out through the checking process, but it is something that needs to be addressed up front.
Yeah, it would probably eventually pop up, but we don't want it to pop up at the end.
At the back end.
Right. We want to know on the front end so we can address it, and if there's an issue, we'll know early, not right before closing.
All right, well, let's talk about major life events, maybe that you wouldn't think to talk about with your loan officer when you're applying for a mortgage.
Sure. It could be if we pull credit, and you've got some maybe medical collections or something along those lines, and you think, oh, well, that could cause a major problem. Well, it might, but if there was a circumstance that led to those medical collections, if there's a major injury, some accident, that can make a difference in the loan approval. So that's information we need to know. What happened, a letter of explanation, and that can change things completely.
So at Bank of Little Rock Mortgage, on the initial application, you get the basic info.
Yes.
Where would you put this kind of stuff?
So there is a continuation form on the application where you can add things like this, but most of the time it's best just for us to sit down and have a conversation about it. I mean, we definitely want it on the application, but the borrower doesn't necessarily know what to put on there.
Yeah.
So even though there's a continuation sheet for them to fill out,
you might just think this doesn't apply to me.
That's right. That's right. So it's best just to sit down. We'll talk about it. And a lot of times I may see something on the application that will be kind of a catalyst to another conversation. So just sitting down and talking about it's usually the best.
Oh, that's good. That's what you guys are for.
That's right.
Well, if someone wanted to learn more about applying for a mortgage, where do they need to go?
You can call us, 219-9100, or you can go to our website. It's blrmortgage.com. You can apply there. There's a lot of good information there. We're also on Twitter and Facebook as well.
Yeah, that's really awesome. You guys, where's your office located at?
So our main office is located in West Little Rock, out Highway 10. We're just past Taylor Loop.
Yeah, and we hear this time and time again, but if you're wanting to buy a house, you got to get pre-approved.
Absolutely.
How long does that process usually take?
The pre-approval process is really fast. So from the time you submit an application, we generally will have a pre-approval ready for you same day. It's very rarely is it more than 24 hours.
So if you're looking at a house and you want an answer, it usually doesn't take too long.
Not at all. Typically no more than 24 hours unless there's some particular
type of
issue.
complication.
Right.
Yeah.
But
okay. Well, of course, you've got some great tips for us this morning on stuff that you may not think of. A couple of those were your marital status, if there's a pending divorce, something like that.
Right.
A big change in income or a change in job status.
Right.
Those are things that maybe you should think about to let you guys know about.
Definitely.
And, if you do it up front, it makes that process go a little bit quicker.
It makes it much better if you do it up front. We don't want to find these things out at the end. It just causes a lot of problems at that point.
Alan from Bank of Little Rock Mortgage, of course, you can find more information on their website. A lot of good info from them.